Hello, and welcome to Chabot's News for November 18, 2020. My name is Eva, and in today's news, we will cover the latest COVID-19 updates within the Bay Area. In entertainment news, Taryn will talk about the long-lost music video of Mariah Carey's. In sports, we will cover the confusing situation surrounding March Madness. In our top 5, Eric will be counting down the top 5 best camera stabilizers. All that and more coming up on Chabot News. Most of the Bay Area counties will move into the more restrictive reopening tiers this week as the state attempts to extinguish all its rise in new coronavirus cases, Governor Gavin Newsom said Monday. A total of 28 counties, including Alameda, Contra Costa, and Solano counties, will be moved into the most restrictive purple tier Tuesday as part of what Newsom described as the state pulling the emergency brakes on its reopening plans. The Oakland Museum of California announced Tuesday that it would postpone its reopening plans, scheduled for later this month after Alameda County was moved to the state's most restrictive coronavirus pandemic reopening tier. The Oakland Museum of California announced last week that it would reopen on November 27th with 3 consecutive days of free public access. And now with Taryn, who will bring us the latest on entertainment.
Mariah Carey's album Daydream has sold more than 20 million copies since its release in 1995. But a long-lost music video from the album just hit the internet. Rick DeMelaglia has a story in the Hollywood Minute.
A lost Mariah Carey music video has surfaced. The Grammy-winning singer-songwriter tweeted about the release of the Underneath the Stars video. The song was the last of 6 singles from Carey's 1995 Daydream album, but the video was never officially released until now.
All I want is to be loved. It's all any of us want from you.
Emma Corrin plays Lady Diana Spencer in the new season of The Crown, which just debuted on Netflix. The young actress says she worked to shut out all of the rumors and speculation that still surround Princess Diana's legacy.
They didn't really do anything for me in terms of coming to understand the character that I was playing. And it was really when I had the script in front of me and then I was working with the research team contextualizing the story we were telling that I really felt like I had some grasp on her.
Casting news, Stallone joins the Suicide Squad. Director James Gunn announced via Instagram that Sylvester Stallone has joined the cast of his DC Comics movie. Gunn previously cast Stallone in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The Suicide Squad is currently scheduled to release August 6, 2021. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Thanks, Rick. Rapper Boosie Badass was shot in Dallas Saturday after rolling through a town in a Sprinter van near the strip mall called Big T's Plaza. Last Friday, he was stopped by another venue to pay his respects to the recently murdered Dallas rapper Mo, a friend and collaborator. At some point, somebody opened fire on the vehicle and one of the bullets struck Boosie in the leg. The shooters booked it, and Boosie and his friends made their way to the hospital where he was treated for a gunshot wound and blown knee. Sources say he was doing okay when the Dallas police officers showed up at the scene. There was nobody around and no signs of a crime being committed. It's unclear if there's any connection with Mo's fatal shooting and Boosie's incident. Now back to you, Ava.
Thanks, Taryn. President Donald Trump has initiated multiple lawsuits across the nation towards President-elect Joe Biden regarding election results. While a few cases are on progress, most requests to stop counting votes have been rejected. Biden became the presidential winner in November 17th with 290 electoral votes versus 232 for Trump, but the election race will likely continue through December. Trump has filed lawsuits in 4 states, including Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Wisconsin and Georgia are recounting all votes. COVID vaccines are likely to begin rolling out by the end of this year. Biotech company Moderna and the National Institutes of Health recently released statements about their new vaccines that have been proven with 94.5% effectiveness. Moderna has planned to ship around 1 billion doses across the world by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. The FDA is expected to approve 2 vaccines for emergency use in December. Most COVID vaccines will be free of charge to everyone in the United States. Coronavirus cases are surging across the country, but some cities are already looking forward to the future. In Indianapolis, they are hoping to serve as the host city for the March Madness. The NCAA is planning to hold the entire men's basketball tournament in one geographic area, which could possibly be Indianapolis. But city leaders say that they have a lot of work to do before this could happen. Demi Johnson has the story in sports news this week.
That gut punch of time and time again has gotten a little sore for all of us who are civic promoters.
And finally, some relief may be on the horizon. Bob Schultz from Downtown Indy Inc. says there aren't enough words to describe what that would mean for the city.
The prospect of hosting this entire tournament in Indianapolis is incredible. It's outstanding. It's remarkable.
But Schultz says Indianapolis isn't quite ready to host 68 college basketball teams just yet.
We've got some dark days ahead of us as a community, and we need to support those restaurants and retailers so that when we do get to a spring where we're ready to host, whether it be a basketball tournament, a convention, a returning workforce, they recognize downtown.
Local restaurant owners are up for the challenge. Being right across the street from Bankers Life Fieldhouse, Pier 48 owner Keith Stucker has been waiting for news like this for quite some time.
Who would have thought going into doing, a beautiful build out like we did and what the Hyatt did, with the expectations of having a Bankers Life Fieldhouse and seeing the Pacers and NCAA games and all of that, and have all of that go away in your first year of operation.
Even if the tournament has to go on with no fans, Stucker says it'll still help.
You look at the games that are being played right now, the bars and the restaurants around those vicinities are still filling up. They still are having that fan support.
Patrick Tam from the Indiana Restaurant and Lodging Association agrees. He says teams and staff will obviously need places to stay, and that in itself will bring jobs back to downtown.
It's a tremendous opportunity for hotels to re-engage their employees, their colleagues, and try to also show on a national, international stage that the city is open.
But Tam says before we get to that point, boards have to come off buildings and at least some of the workforce needs to return.
The biggest thing for us right now as a city of any central business district in the state and frankly country and world is getting people back into offices the best we can.
Thanks, Demi. The city has to wait for official word from the NCAA before they can move forward with any plans. A big week in vaccine news to combat against the coronavirus. This is as more states reinstate restrictions in the last 7 days. The U.S. added 1.1 million cases of COVID-19, according to the data of Johns Hopkins University. Daryl Forges has the latest.
COVID cases wreaking havoc across the U.S. Right now, 47 states showing upward trends. On Tuesday, the nation reported almost 162,000 new cases and just over 1,700 deaths.
We are in a war right now, and the virus is winning.
With states changing course on restrictions, some state officials are calling for more help from the federal government.
It's really going to be critical that the feds get their act together and give us some stimulus support for these small businesses, for these restaurant workers.
As the virus continues to flood the country, more promising news about a vaccine. Pfizer and BioNTech announced their vaccine is about 95% effective. But one of the biggest hurdles for the country is preparing for distribution of the vaccines once they're available.
There's a lot of work that we need to do very rapidly to make sure that our entire infrastructure is in place to receive these vaccines and do the right education so people can trust these vaccines.
BioNTech says it will file paperwork for the emergency use of its vaccine in the United States on Friday.
I am confident if everything goes well and if we have a well-organized vaccine supply, that we could have a normal winter 2021, normal summer and winter 2021.
I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
The saga that is the 2020 presidential election continues. In a stunning reversal, a bipartisan panel in Michigan's most populous county unanimously certified its presidential results on Tuesday night hours after Republicans temporarily blocked certification. Melissa Rainey has the latest.
A bipartisan panel in Wayne County, Michigan, reversing course Tuesday night, unanimously certifying its presidential election results. The move just hours after two Republican canvassers made unverified claims of voting irregularities in Detroit. Democratic officials and nonpartisan experts immediately condemned the act, and the panel quickly changed course.
There has been no proof presented to our office or to the Board of Canvassers today of any irregularities, any widespread fraud, and any suggestion that there was is an effort to misinform the public and falsely erode the public's confidence in, again, what was a very well-run election.
The initial vote against certification drew the attention of President Donald Trump, who posted a series of tweets praising the move. The state of Georgia is on schedule to finish its audit of the presidential election by Wednesday. Election officials there say while they have found some discrepancies, those are to be expected and shouldn't change the results to favor Trump.
We found through the audit process in Walton County, an additional 176 that go towards the president right now. That still puts the margin at 12,753. And we have no indication really that there's anything broader than that. But this is why you do audits. This is to make sure that human beings, which are the most flawed part of our system, don't make errors. And that's why we have these guardrails in place to protect the integrity of the vote and the outcome of the vote.
Georgia plans to certify those results by Friday. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
Thanks, Melissa. Another shakeup Tuesday night, President Donald Trump fired Chris Krebs, who ran the cybersecurity arms of the Department of Homeland Security. Trump attributed to the dismissal on Twitter to Krebs' comments saying that the 2020 election was secure and that there was no evidence of vote tampering. Senator Lindsey Graham is one of President Donald Trump's closest allies, appearing to stand behind his challenge to the election results. But it wasn't always this way. Not by a long shot. So what changed? CNN Brian Todd takes a look.
Can you see me?
One of the Republicans' biggest stars in the Senate, taking up President Trump's voting fight to baselessly question Joe Biden's victory.
President Trump should not concede.
Senator Lindsey Graham says he made calls to election officials in states like Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona. But in doing so, he's accused of trying to put his thumb on the scales of Georgia's recount. Georgia's Republican Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, alleging that Senator Graham last week implied that Raffensperger should throw out some legally cast mail-in ballots in Georgia.
Well, he asked if the ballots could be matched back to the voters, and then I got the sense it implied that then you could throw those out. And he really would look at the counties with the highest frequent error of signatures. Just an implication, look hard and see how many ballots you could throw out.
Graham calls the accusation ridiculous and vehemently denies he was trying to do that, saying he was focused on Georgia's upcoming Senate runoffs in January.
What I'm very concerned about is that if you're going to continue to vote by mail, that we need to know what systems work and what don't. It's up to the people of Georgia. But I think I have every right in the world to reach out and say, how does it work? And that's what I did.
There's been no evidence of widespread voter fraud in Georgia or anywhere else. And this fuels critics who call Lindsey Graham Trump's minion in the Senate.
Oh, my Lindsey, my Lindsey. Thank you, Lindsey. Great guy.
A far cry from Graham's days as a Republican maverick, an ardent supporter of the late Senator John McCain, a man who often bucked the party line and once stridently attacked Trump on the campaign trail.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
Since then, Graham has said he doesn't think Trump is a racist by any stretch.
It's not the color of your skin that matters. It's not the content of your character. It's whether or not you show him respect and like him.
In a few short years, Lindsey Graham's gone from Trump critic to Trump's golf partner, from voting in favor of two of President Barack Obama's Supreme Court nominees to unapologetically fighting for Trump's very controversial nomination of Brett Kavanaugh and attacking Kavanaugh's opponents.
This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics.
Graham went from supporting Robert Mueller's investigation, which included looking into Trump's 2016 campaign, to opposing Trump's impeachment and supporting baseless investigations into the Biden family. What's behind Graham's transformation? One observer says it's part wanting to have an influence with Trump and part pure political calculation.
We see how much the Trump base has aligned behind the president himself, and any Republican who is not in lockstep behind Donald Trump really gets the wrath of not only the president, but the base of the party.
Thanks, Brian. Graham's office hasn't responded to a request for the comment on his flip-flopping. Kim says to keep an eye on Graham. She thinks he may morph right back into the bipartisan deal-making under President-elect Joe Biden administration. And now we have Gabriel with our live remote.
This Saturday, Chabot College will be holding a flea market right here in parking lot B at Chabot College. This flea market takes place every third of the month, and it's a tradition that's over 2 decades old. This flea market will offer many things to purchase, such as collectibles, antiques, plants, clothing, and much more. The Chabot College Flea Market will take place this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. right here in parking lot B, rain or shine. Admission is free. Now, back to you, Eva.
Thanks, Gabriel. A Texas rental property is offering a blockbuster holiday venue by challenging the vibe of the Hollywood Holiday Classic. Jeremy Roth has today's look at this.
This Dallas area Airbnb wants guests to feel alone, home alone. The Kevin is a rental property made to look like the famous home from the 1990 holiday classic. Each detailed room is meant to capture a scene from the film, and guests are even treated to a complimentary cheese pizza.
A lovely cheese pizza just for me.
But you might want to watch your step. The house does come armed with Kevin's signature booby traps.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
The owner has designed other pop culture themed rentals, but says this one is special. He says Christmas at the McAllister house was an idea he just couldn't pass up. The Kevin will be available for a limited time through the holidays. This North Carolina house also has kind of a movie theme going on, only not on purpose. Think Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Alexandra Caldwell's home has become ground zero for a flock of buzzards. She says 10 to 20 of the birds show up each morning like a not-so-welcome welcoming committee.
The sunrise comes up on my back porch. It's like, oh, so pretty. Then it's like, you see the buzzards.
Number one, the destructive birds have wreaked havoc, tearing away shingles, window caulking, even picking apart some of the chimney. And number two, well, you know, number two. The Caldwells have asked authorities for help, but to add insult to injury, because buzzards are a federally protected species, local officials say their hands are tied.
They're destroying our property. It's just frustrating because you know you can't do anything about it.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Thanks, Jeremy. In today's food news, Oreo is officially releasing a gluten-free cookie. This gluten-free cookie will be a variation of both normal and double stuffed cookies that Oreo is known for. An Oreo representative stated, quote, "With a new edition of the new line, Oreo invites snackers with a gluten tolerance or gluten sensitivity to enjoy our cookies too," end quote. The Gluten Intolerance Group of America has even officially approved the certified this cookie. The new gluten-free Oreo will be available early 2021 and is going to be a permanent addition. And now we have Eric with our top 5.
Thank you, Eva. For this week's top 5, we're reviewing the top 5 camera stabilizers. Number 5 is DJI's Osmo Mobile 3 3-axis gimbal stabilizer for mobile phones. We all have a phone in our pockets, so technically we can call ourselves filmmakers. The stabilizer is only $99 and easy to use right out of the box. It is lightweight, and its ultra-responsive design reacts to your movements in real time, letting you focus more on the moment at hand. Number 4 is the Zhiyun Crane 2. Crane 2 comes standard with a durable, quick-release plate that meets the Manfrotto standard, which allows you to mount your camera quickly to the stabilizer or tripod nice and tight, simply with the sliding of the plate, sparing you a lot of time of painstaking reassembling. It has an 18-hour runtime and only is $549 from the website. Number 3, DJI Ronin RSC2. This was just released on October 31st. The starting price is $499. This lightweight gimbal gets stronger, smarter, and more portable. It has an LED display, a foldable frame, and fast-charging batteries. It allows you to create footage that mimics some of the biggest Hollywood movies with ease. When it comes to maximum payload capacity, the DJI RSC2 can support a tested payload of up to 6.6 pounds. DJI claims the gimbal can carry even heavier mirrorless cameras like the Panasonic S1H with a 24-70mm lens. Coming in at number 2, DJI Ronin M. The Ronin M is arguably the most gimbal for your money and an excellent investment for low-budget filmmakers and event videographers. The Ronin M can adapt to a range of camera sizes and is ideal for compact video cameras, mirrorless cameras, and DSLRs. It is suitable for payloads of up to 8 pounds. The starting price was $1,300, but you can find one as cheap as $500. And last but not least, number 1, Movie Pro. It's the most advanced camera movement ever created. With the starting price of $6,500, the Movie Pro supports camera packages up to 15 pounds. The manual has recommended cabling guides for the Red Epic and Scarlett, Alexa Mini, Canon C-Series, Sony f5/f55, and Blackmagic Design cinema cameras. Ideally, it can be used with a single operator, but for the best shots, a 2-person operating system works best. Now back to you, Eva.
Thanks, Eric. We wrap up this week with the story of a 93-year-old man in Massachusetts who lost his wedding ring while he was out on his yard doing yard work. Upset about the ring loss, his daughter made a post on Facebook about losing the ring and asked if anyone could help him find the ring. A man named Ryan came across this post and offered to visit with his metal detector. Before this, Ryan had never met either of these two people before. After hours of searching, Ryan successfully found the ring and returned it to a 93-year-old man. After thinking it was gone forever, he was able to get his wedding ring back, all thanks to a good deed from a random stranger. That's all for Chabot's News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff at Mass Communications Department here in Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 for more Chabot TV.